The burger that put the Golden Arches on the map. 2 beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles and onions, all slapped together on a triple sesame seed bun. This is the McDonald's Big Mac, and today on Food Thoughts join me, McFoodie, as we look at the untold history of the Big Mac. There's one man and one man only to thank for the Holy Big Mac, and that is none other than Michael James Delligatti, who opened the doors to his first McDonald's franchise back in 1957. A true pioneer in the fast food game and a man who ultimately went on to open nearly 50 McDonald's stores across the state of Pennsylvania. But you're all probably wondering why Delligatti chose to introduce the Big Mac to the menu when McDonald's were already known for their iconic single patty cheeseburgers. Well, Delligatti's first restaurant was located in Uniontown, a city known for their coal mines and steel works. After a long hard shift down the mill, many customers would come into Delligatti's McDonald's and complain that the single patty cheeseburgers were not sufficient enough for their healthy appetites. The steelworkers wanted more bang for their buck, and that is exactly what Delligatti set out to give them, crafting the masterpiece we all know and love today, the Big Mac. But getting the new burger onto the menu proved difficult. Given the Big Mac's popularity today, you might find it hard to believe that the higher powers at McDonald's weren't keen on Delligatti's proposal to sell the burger in their restaurants. At first, they prevented him from rolling the creation out in his store, and were reluctant to move away from their tried and tested cheeseburgers. But Delligatti was a man who never took no for an answer, and was eventually given the green light to sell the Big Mac in 1967. There was one condition, however. Delligatti could only sell his burger with ingredients and products that were already part of the existing McDonald's menu. However, Delligatti plugged his ears, completely ignored what his bosses had told him and switched the patty for a sesame seed topped bun from a local bakery. And thus the Big Mac was born, and it only cost 45 cents.
McDonald's Big Mac, it's more than just another hamburger. There are 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, and onions on a sesame seed bun.
It is believed that Delligatti took inspiration from nearby diners that sold big meaty sandwiches. The Big Mac was an instant hit, advertised originally as a meal disguised as a sandwich. It filled the stomachs of the hungry steelworkers and sold so well in its first year that it caught the attention of McDonald's then CEO Ray Kroc. Just a year after being launched, the Big Mac was added onto the menu in all McDonald's restaurants across the United States, and subsequently popped up in over 100 countries around the world in no time at all. The Big Mac is so popular today that the US alone sells over 500 million Big Macs every single year. The Big Mac, however, hasn't always boasted the same name, and that remained a problem in the burger's early years. Beginning its life under several less catchy names such as the Aristocrat and the Blue Ribbon, did McDonald's seriously think a burger called the Aristocrat would take off? So after much trialing and error, mainly error, the Big Mac's name was finally decided after a 21-year-old secretary gave her 2 cents on the matter. Esther Rose said if it was up to her, she'd call the burger the Big Mac. And just like that, it was decided and the name stuck like superglue. Although not credited or recognised at the time due to just being a young secretary, the company formally recognised her in 1985. When Delligatti first created the Big Mac, he needed to distinguish it from all other popular burgers and sandwiches on the market, and this was done through none other than the Big Mac sauce. The sauce's ingredients have been mostly kept a secret for decades, with much speculation that the sauce is simply just a Thousand Isle dressing. But let me tell you now, it is not. For years it was difficult for Big Mac lovers to nail the ingredients, and that is because the sauce kept on changing. Delligatti first made his own sauce when the burger launched, but spent years changing it to create the perfect blend. But when the higher powers at the Golden Arches rolled the burger out globally, they themselves made changes. In 1972, they created the Big Mac Sauce Recipe 72, which went on to be used in Big Macs up until 1991 when the recipe was changed, only yet to change again in 2004. And while the Golden Arches did their best to keep the recipe a secret, it has of course been leaked, and it's just a simple concoction of mayonnaise, sweet pickle relish, yellow mustard along with some spices thrown in for good measure. McDonald's sent fans into a frenzy a few years back when they released bottles of the famous Big Mac sauce for a limited time. So popular in fact that eBay listings of the sauce have sold for over £100. The Big Mac's success was helped along by McDonald's memorable marketing campaigns. In the early Big Mac days, McDonald's birthed a new character into McDonaldland. A fantasy world inhabited by fictional fast food characters. The character was none other than googly-eyed officer Big Mac, who resembled a policeman with a burger for a head. One of the most popular Big Mac campaigns is the iconic Big Mac jingle.
2 all-beef patties, special sauce and lettuce too. Cheese, pickles, onions, and lots of sesame seeds for you.
Don't blame me if that's stuck in your head for the rest of the day. And after 60 years, the Big Mac remains possibly the most iconic burger in history, making countless appearances in pop culture.
What do they call a Big Mac?
Big Mac's a Big Mac, but they call it Le Big Mac.
Le Big Mac.
The burger is so iconic that there's even a museum in Pennsylvania, not far from where the story began in Uniontown. The burger-themed museum opened up in 2007 to honour Delligatti and features a 14-foot model of a Big Mac. In 2016, Delligatti sadly passed away at the ripe old age of 98, with McDonald's issuing a statement describing him as a legendary franchisee within the McDonald's system. It is said that Delligatti ate at least one Big Mac per week, every week since founding them, which begs the question, how on earth did the man live to 98? The Big Mac's 50th birthday saw the release of 2 limited edition burgers, the Mac Jr. and the Grand Big Mac. The release was accompanied by a nostalgic advert as it takes viewers through the 5 decades of the Big Mac. One thing worrying though is how much longer will the Big Mac last? In 2016, the Wall Street Journal reported that only 1 in 5 millennials have ever tried the legendary burger, as they tend to opt for more gourmet burgers, indie joints and healthier alternatives. Will the Big Mac live to see its 100th birthday? Who knows? And there we have it, foodies, that is the history of the world's most iconic burger. If you enjoyed today's video, why not drop a like and subscribe to the Food Thoughts YouTube channel and let us know down below what food related topics you'd like to see us cover next. Anyway, this was McFoodie on the Untold History of the Big Mac.